Empathy and conscious living. One of the best things we can do is recognizing our own humanness, human species, the primal vibrational frequencies of a human species. Um, when we recognize this simple existence of our ecosystem, we have much easier time navigating life because we are conscious, we have empathy. Now, empathy, sympathy, kindness is something that's hard to come by in the modern day because we are a little bit impatient. We forget our humanness, and uh, any ecosystem, when we can't recognize our own vibrational frequencies, we're in trouble. Especially when we have external factors. There's information warfare, there's a spiritual warfare, there is warfare against your own physical existence. Everything is there to sabotage you and hinder your progress and keep you extremely low vibrational. Not killing, but you are um, you have a level of low vibrational frequencies that you are drawing in because it's a shadow work, because it's a negative work, is because it's things that is done in the darkness. These are all things that for us to navigate in this school of life and keep eye on or keep awareness so that we can minimize the impact for our human suffering and keeping tabs with conscious living, and we can navigate life much easier. We can recognize the karmic cycles, but we can recognize the deliberate sabotage much easier. And because unfortunately we are at this point, we have a suspicion even the karmic journey is a bit superficial, a bit deliberate kind of sabotage, because the black sheeps will always recognize, okay, well, there is some personal responsibility. We can learn something. This is how we navigate information. But we have to sort of recognize the karmic lessons and deliberate sabotage. There is a little bit of suspicion there. So when we have a suspicion in accordance with our intuition and our connection and the information from the higher source, we can sort of minimize and get on top of these hidden lessons we have to release ourselves from. Um, Empathy, conscious living is simply we are really recognizing uh, our own participation into somebody else's misfortune or adding to their stress, so that we are looking after ourselves without adding more stress into other people's lives. Simple factors like when you go to the gym, you don't flush the toilet after using it, or you forget a couple times, or it's a way of life for some of the people. It's really hard not to notice. But there are consequences for another. Somebody goes in very unpleasant something, the cleaning lady, just because they are getting a salary, lowball salary for their job, but it's still, we can be conscious enough to recognize the level of work have to go into maintaining our ecosystem that is human friendly and even luxurious. That's level of work going to maintaining these kind of systems. But when we are unconscious people or persons, when you're existing in a really disconnected state of mind, we're not really thinking about how it's going to impact a cleaning lady or superintendent. They're working overtime to keep everything nice and clean, and we are forgetting to wipe our feet, especially in these wet, dirty weathers from outside coming in. They are simple factors, very simple things. No one ever take a notice, but someone, even if in the healthcare, you're a nurse, and that there are some family members that wouldn't lift a finger to do anything but hanging around there constantly criticizing without ever thinking about the level of work, level of commitment, level of um, coming into work, even with all the challenges. We are constantly there to point out all the wrong things that's happening. Yet there is a human energies going into maintaining of these ecosystems, and a level of work that has to go in. When we're living consciously, when you are practicing empathy, it's not necessarily you're practicing empathy for other people. When you have empathy for others, you are going to have a level of empathy for your own self. When you have empathy, compassion, kindness, and love for yourself, you are unknowingly, you are behaving in such a manner that's not hindering another person, not adding more stress into another person's life, by creating chaos everywhere you go, or at the very least not have the ability to clean after yourself. This is really like a simple social pointers, but and they are small things, but they are really big things. It makes a huge difference in completely unsuspecting ecosystems, because we recognize our human species, the frequency of our human species. We are working towards a growth in a harmonious manner. We are not destructive, we're not sabotaging, we're not ignoring. We are simply having empathy enough to recognize what is going into maintaining our social structure, even the way you design. Really, most of the damages happen within this information warfare, this within this spiritual warfare, within these social circumstances we're facing. It's so much more than some external entities coming and trying to destroy you, calling you useless eaters. But we are doing that huge damage for our own selves, because we don't have the ability to recognize our own human frequencies. This is where conscious living is important, because everything is not conscious, is unconscious. Unconscious is something that's always happened in the darkness. Things are done in the darkness. Things are, but we have the ability to recognize, well, this is not really something we should be doing, so therefore we do things in secret. This is what these a great awakening to all the systems and all the hidden factors of our entertainment industry, our political systems. They are coming into a question period now, because it's done hidden, is done in secret, because they have awareness, because it's not really something we should do in out in the open. We don't expect the perfect. We are all here in the school of life. We're here to work on ourselves and getting connect with that vibrational frequency of love and unconditional love. But in order for us to do that, it's a journey. We have to know what we're working with. Paying attention to these unpleasant things about our life. If you are doing it a couple times, it's a lesson. But if you're repeatedly offending these offenders of these basic natural rules in our system, then it becomes problematic. It's become a small problem, becomes really big problems, and it's become so unable to comprehend even because we let these things go this far. So we're not only protecting our humanness, we're also protecting our darkness from further implicating themselves with these kind of horrendous things that's happening in our environment. Now, uh, something that I just really want to I want to understand it for myself, but um, we're so prone to go towards the power and the wealth and the power and something that we constantly trying to separate ourselves from the collective consciousness. There's a reason for that. It's we don't want to be triggered. We want to be triggered. Being triggered is a really big issue for our consciousness because that means you have to work on yourself. That means you have to recognize your own participation into other people's misery. Like things are constantly happening, all the mass killings happening, all the sabotage, all the deliberate sabotage and manipulation and misleading people. This is continuously, effortlessly happening in our social structure, but we just really don't know why. We don't know how to stop. We don't know how to recognize this is a problem area that we really have to pay attention. The other thing is, we think when we are gatekeepers, we are separated from the masses or the useless eaters, they like to call us. When we separate from that, you are sort of a gatekeeper for the unknown factors in this disconnected state of mind. But we have that misunderstanding. We think that unknown forces who are inflicting suffering on us have our best interest. So therefore, we are making such an effortless decision to become a gatekeepers for these entities because they get higher pay brackets or a little bit glamorous maybe. But we don't realize though these external parasitic entities, they don't really have your best interest. They don't even respect you. What they are really getting down is that you have no boundaries, you don't have integrity, you don't recognize your own important and value of your own human species, and so you are really disconnected. So you're the one who is really in limbo. You think you're establishing a level of comfort and um, protection from these warfare of information, warfare of energy, and trying to maintain indefinitely the low vibrational feeling to these entities to exist, these systems to be existing in the social structure. So they are not really uh, giving you so much protection. Maybe it's on the surface it seems like that, but they wouldn't hesitate to toss you out and delete you, or there's no use from you anymore. So this is another area conscious living come to be important, because we are recognizing you're hindering your own human species and the vibrational frequencies of your human species. So you become the gatekeeper because you're prioritizing your own comfort and your own superficial existence. So that's something that we can keep in mind. The other factor is we have uh, connected black sheeps. They're always, when there is injustices or things that's unpleasant happen to us, we always trying to make excuses while we're paying off our karmic deficit, and we're fixing ourselves because of our own karma. But even then, it's really lately it's very clear that karmic lessons are there, but there is a deliberate sabotage happening to the human species at the same time, because it's while you're learning karmic lessons, something could happen. This is a deliberate sabotage to keep you really down and suppress everything that's good in your life, and cause you enormous level of stress and agony. So these it's important to navigate karmic lessons